Hey guys, welcome back, and today, as you can see, we are putting our big boy pants and we're going to be taking part in the Forza GT Spec lobby. So we've graduated, we've done the Formula Mazda, we've done the touring cars. Now we're going to be joining arguably the most popular Spec series, the GT Spec series. And as you've read the title already, this was a rude introduction to the GT Spec series, guys. It was an absolute disaster of a race from the very beginning right to the very end, and you're going to find out exactly what happens in this race. As I said, guys, it was a disaster from the very beginning. I stalled off the start, so pretty much dead last, well, exactly dead last going into the first corner. Of course, there's going to be some mayhem up ahead, so we're just going to try and find the gaps and squeeze into some gaps to try and make up some positions, but everyone's literally crashing into everyone. I can't even see what's going on at this point. I have no idea where to go. There's just no vision. I have no awareness of where to go in this particular situation. And yeah, we get spun round, absolutely dead last, and we're already 13 seconds behind the leader, and it's just turned out to be an absolute disaster. And this race was done in a week where the Forza GT Spec lobbies were on short length races rather than medium length races, so we had less time to make up the positions. And yeah, you're going to find out where that leaves us in terms of the rest of the races. This guy joins the track very rudely. The RF Cosmos seems to be struggling to find a racing line, so we make an easy pass there. We've made up one position, so we can celebrate that small victory, as two more people up ahead go off on the left hand side. So we make another couple of positions up into 19th now, and now we're settled down into the race. We're looking forward, we're hoping for no more disasters and see how high we can finish as we head into the Beckett Trackball Complex. And Silverstone's one of my favourite racetracks. We've done a race there before. Always tend to go quite well here. It's one of my favourite tracks. As one guy on the right, he's just, as you can see at the top there, Zaid quit. So yeah, he's definitely rage quit. So this lobby was actually really bad in terms of driving standards. You're going to find out shortly what type of lobby this was, but it was just pure chaos. To be fair, the last race that we had at Maple Valley was chaos as well, and everyone was bumping into everyone in that race as well. But this race was equally as bad, if not worse. Thankfully, I managed to find my way to the victory last time round. And well, this time it doesn't quite happen that way, let's put it that way. As you see a big gaggle of cars up ahead, I just knew at this point something's going to happen, and sure enough...
No, God! No, God, please, no! 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 No!
I mean, this race, guys, I was literally collateral damage throughout the entire race. I mean, we haven't even made it through to the end of lap 1 and we've been destroyed twice. And it's a short race, so we've only got a few laps left, so it's turning out to be an absolute disaster. Honestly, at this point of the race, guys, I was so tempted to rage quit. Like, I really wanted to just rage quit, because we're not going to get a good result. We're probably not even going to get into the top 15, let alone the top 10, and our skill rating's definitely going to go down. But it's part of the series. We're going to show you every single race, everything that's recorded, so all the good ones as well as the bad ones as well. And this is obviously one of the bad ones, and I'm just going to show you exactly what happens. As this guy here in the Dodge Viper is just playing Destruction Derby with everyone and forces his way through in the last corner. Not quite sure what he's doing here. Clearly tries to ram me off the track, and then look what happens here. See you later, mate. Shameful rammer spotted, honestly. And he's about to quit there, as you can see, and well, basically tried to take me with him, but unfortunately for him, his plan did not succeed. So we survive, and we continue in 19th place. The guy up ahead's got a 5-second penalty, so God knows what he's been up to. And we're going to try and take as many positions as possible from here. We seem to have good pace when we had clear air, but throughout this entire race, I don't think we had a single moment where we had clear air. So yeah, it's not a race that we basically could extract our pace. However, it is damage limitation, and we do need to try and gain as many positions as possible. Obviously, the higher up we finish, the less skill rating we'd lose, and this series is all about getting to 4,999 skill rating. And I don't want this series to last forever, guys. Obviously, we're going to try and keep the amount of videos that we make on this series to a reasonable amount, so we do need to make some decent progress here. So that's exactly what we're going to try and do. We close up to the guys up ahead, and we've closed that distance really well. I kind of see a bit of deja vu from the previous lap. You know, we're coming up to the same section of the track. We're at Stowvale Club section, and we see a big group of cars ahead. So I'm just thinking, I need to avoid incident. That's all I need to do at this moment in time. I just need to avoid incident. I don't really care about passing. And luckily enough, we've got 3 people that just destroy themselves this time around, going to the sandpit of doom, and we make up 3 positions, thankfully without any damage whatsoever. So that's good. Up into 16th, BMW goes off his racing line, and we try and go deep into this next corner here. However, the Cadillac's going to hold this line nicely there, so we don't manage to take that position. However, let's line ourselves up for the exit of this corner, try and get a good exit. And we get somewhat of a decent exit, but he gets a little bit of a better exit, but he starts to drift and lost a lot of momentum, and we're going to get a much better run up to the next section and go down the inside. He's going to have to give us a little bit of space, and sure enough he does. I brake nice and deep, which blocks him from turning in, which is why we made contact, which I can understand why that's happened. However, he's off his line now and we're through. So up into 13th place, all of a sudden, not so much of a disaster from pretty much half a lap ago. So yeah, making some progress finally. Got another guy up ahead, 2.6 seconds. Let's see what happens. We're just going to fast forward here through the Maggots, Beckett's complex until we catch up to Kurai Sishin up ahead. And we managed to catch up to him just around the Vale Club section here. So at the end of lap 3, we've got one lap left. And I was desperate to try and get into the top 10. I think if we can finish in a top 10 with everything that's gone on in this race, I think that's decent damage limitation. Obviously not ideal, that's still going to damage our skill rating. However, considering what's happened earlier in the race, I'll take that. And we're going to race these guys pretty hard, go around the outside. These 2 up ahead are just literally destroying each other, and they really compromise my racing line. I've pretty much got to take avoiding action, and I'm not going to be able to get some clean moves done at this point in time. However, I do take the Mercedes. He makes a little bit of a bump, but we go through, take that position. I'm going to get the slipstream from TRF Astra. That's going to allow me to get completely ahead of the Mercedes. And this part here is not good driving for myself. I brake too deep, completely punt him off. He says thanks, and yeah, that's just completely my fault. Yeah, not too happy with that at all really, but it is what it is. You know, we've got punted off twice or 3 times in this race, so look, it is what it is. It happens sometimes, and you know, I'm quite surprised we actually didn't even get a penalty for that. So that's another example of Forza race regulations going completely wrong there. We actually got a 0.5 second penalty for being punted off ourselves, but in that particular occasion when I punted someone else off, I didn't get any penalty whatsoever. So look at these 2 guys now. These 2 guys are literally playing a fighting game at this point in time. They are not racing each other, they are literally trying to beat each other up. And thankfully for us, that makes a position for us. I had to be a little bit careful because just seeing what I had seen up ahead, I didn't want to be the next victim of this Ford GT. So I give him a lot of space. He's going to squeeze me, but I thought at that point in time he's actually going to try and ram me off. But luckily he does not. We're up into 9th position now, coming up to the final few corners. And yeah, literally my head's spinning at the end of this race. That was an absolute disaster. First race in Forza GT. Little bit surprised because considering it's one, look what he does there. Considering it's one of the most popular Spec series, I was expecting it to be quite competitive as he just spins around and then he loses control of his car in the background. I thought it was going to be quite competitive, but the driving standards in this lobby were just shocking. Hopefully the next race is a lot better, guys. And that's pretty much it for this video. Short video, make up 11 positions, set a 2-minute 4-second lap time. Yeah, not too far off the quicker guys up ahead, considering we had pretty much traffic all the way through. And yeah, we're going to stick to this Spec series, guys. We're going to try again. We're going to try and get some good races going here, and probably going to be sticking on Forza GT Spec for quite a while and try and gain some positions and some skill rating in this particular Spec series. And that's pretty much it. Hope you enjoyed this video. We go down to 4,980 skill rating.